Hey, my name's Jim Stime and I'm the LA Fish Guy. I'd like to invite you to tag along to see how the aquarium industry works from the inside. I'd like to show you freshwater fish, saltwater fish, coral reef, as well as some koi ponds. You know, it may not always be pretty and it may not always be paradise, but it is Los Angeles, the city of angels. Welcome to LA Fish Guys.
Said that the day in the life of a fish guy is interesting. Some days are just much more interesting than others. I've arrived to situations where the tank had completely drained itself and it was on the second floor. And I've had the pleasure of witnessing reproduction and growth in fish as well as corals. I've been in situations where I wanted to cry and others where I could not stop laughing. I will admit that at sometimes it's hard to climb out of bed in the morning, but at other times when I was so excited, I could not close my eyes to go to sleep. Today's episode deals with others within the aquarium industry. It's a day in the life of a fish guy, ranging from the retailer to the wholesaler, and the aquarium maintenance to the aquarium installation. Up at the east end of the San Fernando Valley, in Studio City, just off Laurel Canyon, is Mark's Tropical Fish. Mark started out in the psychedelic 60s music industry and now owns and operates a full-line tropical fish store in the swanky Hollywood Hills.
Hi, my name is Mark Weitz, owner of Mark's Tropical Fish in Studio City, California. Today we're going to go over some of the things that we specialize here at Mark's, and we're going to talk a little about saltwater fish, importation. We're going to show you some freshwater fish that may be very interesting for some of you that are new to the hobby. One thing that I can say is that we run the shop a little different than most shops, and hopefully today we can go over some of the things that we feel is very important in the hobby to convey to the customers that shop here. Here we are at our 160-gallon reef tank that we have situated in the center of the store. This is a main focal point when customers come in. It's been set up since 1994. We have some corals in here that are beyond 25 years old. Colonies that have literally started from small frags and grown completely into adult colonies of corals that 20 years ago we didn't think that we can keep in captivity. We've learned a lot from this tank. I'd like to also point out that some of the corals that are in this aquarium were actually given to us by some of our customers. And happily they have thrived and really done well. For the beginner, we can show people how to take care of a small reef aquarium. If they're a novice, we take them step by step and try to speak to them in very everyday language to show them how easy it is to take care of a reef from the nano size, which is something maybe 12 gallons to 30 gallons in that range, all the way up to 150, 200 gallon size reef. I'd like to show you a few other things around the shop that we have a lot of fun with, so let's move on to another area of the shop. Here we have more of an Amazon biotope. By that I mean that a lot of the plants that we have in this aquarium, and we do specialize in aquatic live plants here. We take pride in our two big plant tanks that give you more than 50 species of plants to select from. Some of them are a little bit more difficult and some are easy, especially for beginners. And we can show you how easy it is to keep aquatic plants in your aquarium. Again, a tank with plastic plants, you're not offering anything to your fish in the way way of a biological system because the plants themselves offer quite a bit. I don't have time to go into the benefits in this video, but we can show you when you come into the shop how these plants integrate themselves into the biological system of any aquarium. We can also show you, if you're interested in setting up a CO2 system on your aquatic plant tank, how simple it is to set up a tank that will grow just about any plant and grow it to your satisfaction. We can also show you how to what plants will survive without the use of any added help other than maybe plant fertilizer. Let's see, what else can we do?
Does that tank by chance have CO2
No.
on it?
No. This aquarium itself is just running just with the lighting system on it. We have some LEDs and some T5s running on this about 9 hours a day. Amazon swords, we have Java moss, some jungle val, cryptocorns on the bottom. Very simple plants to grow. Doesn't take any expertise whatsoever, and you get a nice look in your aquarium. And we get compliments all the time on the fact that how easy it is for people to take care of aquatic plants when they thought it made their aquarium dirty or the leaves fell off or turned brown. That's like an old wives' tale. If you have enough light on the aquarium and you're running a well-managed aquarium, plants should be very easy for you to take care of.
Looking down the coast from Santa Monica to Hermosa Beach, Dan Gilboa of Ajo Aquariums out of Long Beach and his crew have just started the plumbing portion of his 20-foot-long aquarium installation. But he's run into a potential problem right from the start.
Chisel that away a little bit.
Did it fit the other way?
We haven't even tried to put them in yet.
No, that way.
Oh yeah, it went all the way in.
It went all the way in.
So tell me what the deal down there is.
I think the structure is actually in the. I need to chip this away a little bit. And then I have some clear coat from the structures on the bottom of the tank, so that's going to inhibit the bulkhead from sealing properly. So we got to scrape that off and then just trim the bottom of the structure a bit. That's inhibiting the flange of the bulkhead from going all the way into the hole. There's no play in these bulkheads.
Turns out there's acrylic cement dripped and dried around the surface where the bulkhead is supposed to sit. Additionally, part of the coral reef sculpture is also in the way of the bulkhead seating itself properly. Dan starts with a rubber mallet and a chisel, but it's a tight fit inside the tank. Slowly at first, Dan begins to slowly chip away at the coral sculpture to make room for the bulkhead. And as it turns out, it's not just one, but both of the drain bulkheads through the bottom of the tank that both have the same issue of dripped acrylic cement and the sculpture intruding on the bulkhead's position.
It's like right here.
The drain bulkheads serve as a means of connecting the plumbing through the bottom of the tank. If the bulkhead is not secure or not properly seated, it could leak water. If Dan cannot get the bulkhead to seat itself securely, then he can't fill the tank with water. And that's a problem in a 20-foot-long, 1,200-gallon aquarium. Back up at the far end of the San Fernando Valley, just off Colorado Street in Glendale, is Tropical Imports. Store owner Dean Inman offers aquarium and pond maintenance, and he has a follow-up repair visit scheduled on a pond filter he worked on just last week in Eagle Rock.
Hi Jim, we're here. One of my customers that comes into the store, his name is Dean. just like mine. He takes care of his pond. I'm here to help him. We were here a few weeks ago to change out his filter media on his pond. Just that time of year is old, dirty. So we went ahead and we changed it all out, got it all in, got everything back dialed in, turned it on, and found out the canister had some structural leaks in it. So unfortunately, I didn't have another filter, so we had to order it. Now I've got the unit here. I've got to come back out now. We're here today. We're going to actually replace that canister. Actually, we're going to replace the whole filter unit itself, because the canister, to order just the canister for the filter was going to be more than ordering a brand new filter unit. So I went ahead and ordered him a whole new filter unit. We're just going to, it should be a fairly easy job. We just got to pull the sand back out, put it back in, and get the filter running again. He's got a great little pond. He takes care of it himself. Unfortunately, I can't take credit for it. But I'm here to help him. He hires me to come and do all the dirty work. So as you can see, I changed. I am in swim trunks and a shirt, flip-flops. Water, mud doesn't scare me. So here we go. We'll grab some supplies. I'll let you do that. This is the top of the filter. I've done this a couple times, so we learn a few tricks to the trade. We got supplies, and then what I'm going to do, we got the buckets. We'll probably need a couple more buckets. I went economy today, brought my little car. I didn't need all the reinforcements as my big truck. So you'd be surprised what you can fit in these little cars. Look at this. Brand new sand filter. Oh, fits perfectly, no problems. And we'll get the base for it, and we're good to go. And booklet for service invoicing. All right, we'll head on up there and see if he's ready to do it.
As a store owner, Dean does the aquarium or pond work himself. This does limit him from reoccurring service work due to the store's needs, but it does allow him to provide customers with limited assistance.
We'll let a call to him and see if he's here. Hey, Dean! Are you home?
This work not only gets Dean out of the store, but it gives him practical insight to offer to his other customers.
Jim, go take a look at the filter. You'll see it. It's leaking now. Oh my God. Walk right on back there. Hey, Dean. Let's see. Let's see how it's leaking. Yeah, she sprung a leak all right. So there we have it. New canister coming up. Here's the owner now. Hey, Dean, I'd like you to meet a good friend of mine, Jim, from LA Fishguys.
LA Fish.
Hi, Dean, how are you?
LA Fish.
Nice to meet you, Dean.
Nice meeting you.
So we've got all the stuff. We're going to go ahead and replace that for you.
Would you like to get a picture of the pond before?
Yeah, Jim would love to see your pond. I'm going to grab Jim. I'm going to run out there. Well, let me come back there with you, and then I'm going to run out and grab the rest of the stuff.
This is Easy.
Hi, Easy.
And he is easy.
Come on, Easy. Come on back here. All right.
Oh, I love your cactus.
Oh, thank you.
In fact, if a few pieces are missing when I leave, you know who took them.
Well, I've got a lot of them.
Wow, you've done some work.
Yeah, I have.
You cleaned this guy out.
Yeah, sure have.
Just south of downtown Los Angeles and under the landing path to LAX is Coast Tropicals. Owner Mike Scott runs a fish wholesale business and offers both freshwater and saltwater fish. Previously, he showed us the freshwater fish side. Now he's going to show us the saltwater aspects of his business.
Okay, here at Coast Tropicals we also have a full line of saltwater fish as well as freshwater. This is the saltwater building. Here we have hundreds of different types of fish as well. It's about 30,000 gallons of water with several different cubes, several different tanks, and so we can house and keep whatever type of fish it is in their happy environment. If they got to be separated, we have plenty of room for that. If they need to be together in a group, we have plenty of big tanks for that as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the saltwater fish. These are fish that need to be separated. We have, we got your angel, your French angels, your purple flame gobies. We have a lot of different species here on hand as well as the freshwater. If there's something that you'd want, we can get it for you. It's not a problem. We go down a different row. This row is kind of dirty. This row is good. There's nothing in the way here. Here we have a lot of hogfish, snappers, foxfish, but we carry a full array of different types of fish that anybody would want. We have it.
I didn't know you did saltwater.
Yeah.
Do you get much local traffic for saltwater?
We do get quite a bit of local traffic. We do a lot of ship outs as well. Ship outs is our big thing. Local market does come here and does pick and gets what they want as well. A lot of independent stores as well. Here we got a lot of puffers. Everybody likes the puffers. Porcupine puffers are one of the most popular fish. Also the longhorn cowfish are one of the most popular as well. Get a better picture of what it's all about here. Here's some bigger porcupine puffers. Pretty neat. This row here we have a lot of angels and wrasses. We have a full array of different species of wrasses that you could imagine. We pretty much have it. Some groupers as well. So we have pretty much everything you would need. Yeah, we have corals as well.
Prophylactic-wise or preventative-wise, medication-wise for fish?
No, the fish are pretty strong. We've been nothing too out of the ordinary. The fish that since we're able to control it from the diver to your door, we can really control how they're caught, and as far as cyanide and different practices that have been used in the past, we can control that and not get those types of fish. So the fish that we get are strong from the get-go. So it's kind of a unique situation that we're in, where we're able to honestly control it from the ocean to your door. There's a pretty cool thing here. This here is a breeding pair of Rhinopius, which is a pretty neat fish. You're next, dude.
I would call those scorpion fish?
Rhinopius. Yeah.
You say breeding pair, how do you know that?
They were caught as a pair. They were paired up when we caught them.
You guys were caught off the coast of Kenya, right?
Yeah, these came from Kenya. These came from our Africa facility. They came from Kenya.
Careful, you're on there for a second there.
You want to go see the corals?
Yes.
Let's go see the corals. This here's our critter row. Here we keep all the snails, little inverts, different snails. Got some clams, some urchins. Here's our critter row. We also have some sharks in here sometimes. Here we have some sharks, a little banded shark here. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. Here's a pretty popular fish, the look downs. We just got a bunch of those in. Some big horses. They're pretty neat, pretty big. We also got some little ones. Those are pretty popular with the big aquariums and so forth. They really want those all the time. Then our our coral facility here. This is Steve checking out the water, making sure it looks good. One of our husbandry guys that's always watching it. Here's our clams. Should we turn the pumps off? You can turn the pumps off. In the coral department, we get an array of different corals. We get corals from Australia, from Bali, from Indo, from Tonga. We get corals from all over the world. Shipped us to our customers. We can take care of anything that they need on that as well. We have a full array of different coral species and so forth. We get the mushrooms, the polyps, the acros, you name it, SPS. We get anything a customer would need or want. Everything here gets checked consistently and constantly as far as water quality, temperature, to make sure that they have the best survival rate for all of our customers as possible.
Do you make your own salt water, or do you bring it in from, say, Catalina?
We'll bring our salt water. We actually buy it from a local aquarium. It runs it through several different types of filtration. We found that is a better water source than, say, Catalina or whatnot. It's been working really well for us because they monitor it consistently and constantly to make sure that the water is of best quality that it needs to be. So. If we will mix our water though if we need to. Here we have some big clams.
Yeah.
They're pretty neat. You don't get those all the time.
Where does a lot of your saltwater stuff come from?
A lot of our saltwater stuff comes from our station in Kenya. We also are partners with in Indonesia as far as Bali, you should say. Also from Tonga, from the Philippines. You know, it also comes from all over the world as well. From Red Sea, we get a lot of stuff from the Red Sea as well. So it comes from all over the world. So Southeast Asia, we should say.
Kenya. What about Kenya? Why Kenya?
They have a lot of different species there that are really strong. That say they're stronger there from any other country. Lions, cleaner wrasses. Just there's a lot of firefish. There's just a lot of different species that do a lot better from that area than others.
Kenya is the east or west side of Africa?
That is the east. Yeah, that's the east side of Africa.
So it would be
in Mombasa.
Collecting stuff. What's that called? The Indian Ocean?
Yeah, that would be the Indian Ocean. That's where it comes from.
Hi, I'm Mark from Mark's Tropical Fish here in Studio City, California. Here at Mark's Tropical Fish, we specialize in all aspects of the hobby. Whether you have a coral reef, a saltwater aquarium, freshwater aquarium, or a koi pond, we can help you in all those areas, including servicing for home and office. Here we are in front of my location at 12063 Ventura Place in Studio City, right near the intersection of Ventura Boulevard and Laurel Canyon. We're located right off the 101 freeway at the Laurel Canyon exit, in close accessibility to all the cities in the valley and the LA basin. We're open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. till 7, Saturday 11 a.m. till 6, and Sunday 11 a.m. till 5. We also have rear parking in case the metered parking is taken up on the street. Hope to see you soon.
Hi there, my name's Jim Stime and you know me as the LA Fish Guy. Well, I also wear a couple of other hats. One of them is the jellyfish tank called the Jelly Aquarium, and the third is myfishtank.com. I offer an entire line of acrylic aquariums ranging from rectangular to hexagon, flatback hex, as well as the custom curve front aquariums. There's also an entire line of stands and canopies ranging from MDF to pine to oak with a variety of different finishes available. And the website is even smart enough that you can calculate what the freight and crate charges to your location will be. That's myfishtank.com.
Reef Hobbyist magazine believes that our hobby, our fellow hobbyists, and the animals in our care are best served by the free distribution of quality information. Reef Hobbyist magazine provides hobbyists with critical husbandry information with an emphasis on marine ornamental breeding efforts. Reef Hobbyist magazine is available for free in local fish stores across the country, or you can subscribe at www.reefhobbyistmagazine.com. Cruising down Ventura Boulevard out in Studio City is Mark's Tropical Fish. Mark leads a dual life. One is full of strawberries and alarm clocks. The other is the master of his aquatic passion.
Here we are in our freshwater section of the shop. We have the sections separated into aggressive, semi-aggressive, and peaceful. Community fish, that is. We also specialize in discus. We have rams and fish that are raised by a local breeder that we always have available, which are very, very popular. A few years ago, this fish wasn't even available on the market. The price is, we brought the price way down and make it accessible to people. They used to be like $25 a piece. We've got them down now for 2 for $25. So this makes a great addition to any planted tank also. Beautiful fish.
And these are called?
Oh, these are electric blue rams, a species that was taken from the regular blue ram and crossbred. So here we are. This is a locally raised fish, which makes them stronger due to the fact that they're used to our water conditions from the San Fernando Valley and the Los Angeles area. Here we have some albino or platinum angels, very rare species that you don't see in shops very often. They have true albino eyes, and these are also locally bred. We like to sell locally bred fish whenever we can, which ensures us of a super healthy fish due to the fact they don't have to go through the stress of traveling from, let's say, an Asian continent to Los Angeles and then acclimated and then sold to us and then reacclimated again to our systems, which also each time along the way of the trip of this fish here also puts stress on them. And the less stress on the fish, the healthier strain that you're going to get. So here we have some beautiful albino and platinum angels.
Come back here and tell me about your plastic plants or your live plants, and are they, where do they come from? Some local place? Do you import them?
Right. Our aquatic plants are generally raised in Florida. Florida has the perfect environment for the temperature in the 75-degree range. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people think that these plants do well at 82, 84 degrees. They actually don't. Aquatic plants are generally raised in the 70 to 75 degree range in Florida, and most of them do well at that temperature. You can keep them in warmer water, but you have to be careful that certain species are sensitive to the warm water. So we can show you which ones will survive better in your, let's say, discus aquarium, which you normally have to run between 82 and 84 degrees.
That's good information.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to get more in the groove of what you're talking about now. It's just taking me. Once I warm up, I get a little bit better, you know, because I'm switching gears right now from something I was doing earlier today. It was not a good morning. I'm trying to get back into the mood here. Let's see here. Oh, I got it. Here we have some relatively large, these are wild Matinas from South America, and here's one of the largest freshwater fish in the world, the pacu, or they call them colossumas. These can grow up to 4 to 5 feet in length in the Amazon, and probably feed a family of 20. But anyway, so we like to keep a nice variety of fish for some of the large fish fans. We also carry, and here's a blue whale, or it's the Pangasius cat. A very interesting looking, almost looks like a little hammerhead shark. Real easy to keep fish. We get the babies in the 3 to 4 inch range, which kind of make a fun addition to any aquarium. Non-aggressive. We also carry arowanas. This is a very popular fish with some of the aggressive fish people. These fish can grow up to 6 feet in the wild easily. This is a little baby right here. He's a nice little 8-incher. We have him on sale right now for $59.99. Such a deal. And here we have another arowana. Now this one is called the Giardini arowana. A little bit more pricey and a little different shape, and it comes from the Australian continent. So again, a very, very sought after species of fish.
Back down in Hermosa Beach, it's a beautiful Southern California day out on the boardwalk. Dan Gilboa of Age of Aquariums has now advanced to a handheld grinder to cut away some of the coral sculpture to make the bulkhead fit.
You gonna hand me that Dremel when I'm down?
It turns out that the coral sculpture intrudes into the area that the drain bulkheads sit in. Dan needs to trim away some of the sculpture to ensure that the bulkheads can seat properly. Dan is now using a Dremel tool to cut away at the coral sculpture, but he has to be real careful as there's a screen in the same area. And cutting the screen would allow fish to swim behind the coral sculpture. That's a problem because the fish could become trapped back there and the viewers would not be able to see those fish from the front of the tank.
They say the issue was that the structure was built out too far and it was blocking the bulkhead from being able to seal. Then there was also the clear epoxy that was around the hole as well, and it wouldn't allow the O-ring sealing either, so we had to chisel that away and sand it so it's a smooth surface so the O-ring would seal the bulkhead.
So you don't end up with any leaks.
Yeah, correct.
And once Dan has the surface and space issue resolved with the area surrounding the bulkheads, he runs into his next challenge. It appears as though the holes drilled inside the internal overflows do not match the size of the bulkheads he's trying to use. This also creates a potential leakage issue.
I had to manufacture pre-drill the aquarium for me. I gave him the bulkhead size, and I told him heavy-duty bulkheads, and he drilled them out for kind of in between a heavy-duty true Spears bulkhead and a heavy-duty Chinese bulkhead. And I got the heavy-duty Chinese size hole here. There so much be the difference between metric and US. That's what the difference is. So, and then this is a lighter-duty bulkhead, which I really don't want to use. It's a thinner plastic and it's finer threads. There's a possibility of the threads stripping out, so I'd rather use the heavier-duty ones.
And so what do you need to do to resolve it?
Well, I'm going to use the Chinese heavy-duty bulkhead. So I won't use the light-duty ones. I won't use the U.S. thread ones, but I'll use the Chinese ones, which will work fine.
And with the bulkhead issue almost resolved, Dan's team begins to insert the rest of the bulkhead fittings into this 48-inch deep tank.
I think I'm going to silicone them.
I just look around the outside. Because you're silicone the O-ring, sometimes when you over tighten it squeezes out the O-ring.
I would just grab it.
Okay.
It won't be a lot. Just be a thin coat. I hear what you're saying though.
As Dan progresses with the plumbing aspects of the tank, there's still another bigger issue. It was decided only a few days earlier that the floor below this 1,200-gallon aquarium was not adequately supported. Down in the basement below the main floor, the construction workers are inserting a vertical beam to help support the floor joists that this 20-foot-long aquarium is going to sit on. Up in Glendale, Dean Inman owns Tropical Imports, and he offers aquarium and pond maintenance. Dean needs to replace a cracked filter canister on one of his customers' ponds, and he's just getting started.
Jim, the last time we came, he had a lot of old growth.
All the way up to
Just all the way up. Full. It was time to come in here and do a little weeding out, so to speak.
yeah, it took us 6 hours to clean that thing up.
Impressed by the recent cleanup of the pond by the homeowner, Dean gets to work on the filter.
We're going to use some buckets and stuff to keep the sand that we're going to use here. So,
But Dean quickly discovers where the results of the cleanup ended up.
look at all that algae. That's some of the algae that has packed up on the top. That's that hole he needs to, oh gosh. It's, wow. There's a lot of debris that's already accumulated in just the week that I'm here, right on the top. Wow. Quite a bit, quite a bit. All right, so now we're gonna get messy here. So, okay. So what I have to do is, believe it or not, it's all hand to get this sand out. Get it to a lower portion where I can pull it down and then tip it all out, get it all out, get it out of the way, put the new one in and feed the sand back in. So here we go.
And in no time, Dean has enough media removed to tilt the canister on its side.
Here we are, we almost got all of it out of there because I just can't lift it. I'm a little guy. We got a lot of sand in here. Well, as you can see, we'll pull this out, get it out, and then we're ready just to put the new filter back in and move the gravel. Maybe a little rinsing of the water for the gravel, and we're good to go. So, there you go. All right.
Cruising across El Segundo Boulevard is Coast Tropicals. Mike Scott runs this wholesale fish business, and he's doing some work on his saltwater fish system today.
Okay. This is our saltwater filtration. Here it's all custom designed. I designed the system here to run. This is our sump. It's an underground pool with a liner. All the water gets filtered through Micron socks. There's the water flow going in there with the Micron socks before it goes to the filtration. From there, from the sump, it goes through a series of UV lights, which is four 400-watt bulbs with a titanium lined tube. From there, we have 3 big protein skimmers, a bio filtration, and UV light. We got UV lights, bio, and mechanical. That's the heart of our system right here.
How many gallons of saltwater?
Our saltwater system is 28,000 gallons. It's broken up into 2 different systems. The coral system is about 4,000 gallons, and that's it.
What are these?
Here we have what is our koi system. We have several different types of goldfish. Right now we're low. Right here's our koi. This tank's full. Right here's our koi. This is our cold water system. What we keep on here is koi, goldfish, anything that likes the cold water is what we keep here. So we have a full line of all your cold water supplies as well, all the pond stuff. It's pretty neat. These actually come from a local breeder as well as overseas as well. So majority of them come from a local breeder. So it's pretty neat.
How much stuff, this will probably apply more to the freshwater than the saltwater. How much of the stuff is wild caught versus pond or farm?
On the freshwater we're running, it's about 99% cultured or grown or bred. Saltwater, we're constantly helping people out to do the culturing of the saltwater. We're a real big sponsor of that. We really think the industry is going to go that way, in coral and fish as well. So anytime we get a chance to help in that department of our industry, we do. We sponsor a couple different breeders right now. We just give them supplies. We buy what they can produce to keep them going, to allow them to grow. So yeah, that's a very important part of our industry in order to sustain it and keep it going for a long period of time.
What are the most popular species?
The most popular species right now is a clownfish. That's pretty much the easiest one to do for most startup breeders. They are getting into breeding different wrasses, different groupers, different angels. There is more and more species getting produced as we speak. It's a really scientific thing. It's pretty hard to feed the fry and get it all dialed in, but once they do, it turns out to be a really good product once they do figure it out, and we try to get as much of that as we possibly can.
Does your aquarium look like this? Would you like it to grow less algae? Algae scrubbers work! And for the latest in convenience, simplicity, and low cost, meet the Hog Upflow Algae Scrubber. Air pump driven and LED light illuminated, the Hog fits easily into your sump or aquarium. For more information, visit santa-monica.cc. Next time you're near Long Beach, California, take the time to stop in at Age of Aquariums, 2642 Cherry Avenue, just off the 405 freeway near Signal Hill. Age of Aquariums carries a full line of dry goods, supplements, and exotic equipment. Age of Aquariums also carries a wide assortment of living corals, coral frags, as well as fresh and saltwater fish, ranging from the usual, the unusual, and the bizarre. Age of Aquariums is located at 2642 Cherry Avenue, Long Beach, California, near Signal Hill. Open 7 days a week. Call 562-438-6252 or visit ageofaquariums.biz. Back up in the San Fernando Valley, over in Studio City, is Mark from Mark's Tropical Fish, discussing compatibility and how to maximize the number of fish you can keep in a freshwater tank.
Here we have a good beginner fish, the silver-tip tetras. These are full grown, and there's some South American wild hemiotus silver sharks swimming in the same aquarium, and some Singapore flower shrimp, very interesting little crustacean that goes around on the bottom, and they're little scavengers. You can see them moving their little fan-like appendages in the front, bringing the food up to their mouth. These are all simple, very easy to keep beginner fish. Once we show people some of these real interesting species, they really get into the hobby by seeing that it's not just your swordtail or your platy or your molly or your guppies that you're keeping in your small aquarium. You can actually keep quite a few interesting species together without any negative reaction between them. And we will be more than happy to show you what goes with what. So compatibility is very important in any size aquarium, whether it's a 5-gallon or a 5,000-gallon. Compatibility is very important. I can't stress this enough. You can't keep everything in the same aquarium. There are certain families of fish that do not like each other, almost like real life. Anyway, I would probably say that for somebody starting out, you have such a wide variety of fish that you can select from. I guarantee you will not be bored. Anything from the little freshwater mini crabs, which you can actually keep in your aquarium. The only requirement they need is the fact that they need to get up and take a breath once in a while. These interesting little additions to any aquarium need to come up and breathe atmospheric air, contrary to some stories telling you, and some dealers out there are just selling them without telling you that these are atmospheric air breathing organisms. They do not live underwater forever. So they need a little spot, whether it's a plant or a piece of driftwood or something that they can come up, breathe a little bit out of the water, and go back down again. Here we have the African mini frog. This is a purely aquatic frog. This frog itself here is raised to live completely underwater its whole life. Now, it can't breathe underwater, so what it does is it comes to the top, takes a breath, and goes back down again. So aquatic African frogs were originally from Africa, obviously, but they are raised here in California now, and they're very healthy specimens that we get in, and they'll live up to 7 to 8 years in your aquarium. Here we have a fish that many of you that have been in the hobby for a long time remember, the cichlid, the family of fish that is generally more aggressive than others. There's quite a few cichlids that belong to that family. This is a new strain of the Jack Dempsey. The Jack Dempsey was a fish that never had this amount of color originally. What they did was they crossed this fish, Jack Dempsey, with an electric blue cichlid, and they came up with the electric blue Jack Dempsey. Way more docile than the original Jack Dempsey. If you notice, I have them, these babies are mixed in with some cherry barbs. Again, these fish were raised locally by a private breeder, and we have them mixed in with some cherry barbs, which are a very peaceful fish. And you can see they're not chasing them. So if you bring these babies up with other peaceful fish and not aggressive fish, it's a lot easier to get them to be compatible with your community fish if you buy them as babies and let them grow up, as well as, or instead of buying an adult and then trying to get them to mix into your aquarium of peaceful fish.
Driving down the 405 freeway south of LAX is Hermosa Beach. Dan from Age of Aquariums is now ready to secure the bulkheads in the bottom of the 20-foot-long aquarium.
What are we doing?
We're going to secure the bulkhead, we're going to silicone it, and we're going to clean the acrylic.
And the reason for putting silicone there?
Just to take up any imperfections because I sanded I roughed the acrylic up a bit, so I just want to ensure the O-ring's going to seal.
So as Dan submerges himself down inside the aquarium, his plan is to apply some silicone sealant to the gasket. The gasket is what actually creates the seal between the aquarium and the bulkhead. And after chipping away at the coral sculpture and then sanding the area around the hole, Dan is now going to tighten the bulkhead into position.
Okay.
And with the first of 2 bulkheads now secured, Dan works his way up and out of the tank, only to move down the tank a bit to the second hole and bulkhead. Dan will wipe a thin bead of silicone sealant to the gasket of the second bulkhead. He's concerned that the scraping off of the sculpture and the dried acrylic cement may have caused irregularities in the surface of the acrylic material. Dan will use the silicone similar to a gasket sealant, which will help ensure that the bulkhead completely seats itself, as any drips will become catastrophic in such a large aquarium as this. And with the bulkheads now secured, Dan and his crew can now start assembling their plumbing and filter system, as well as some aquarium electronics.
We've installed a remote monitor. We have an internet cable coming out of the wall, and that is for purposes of remote monitoring the fish tank, and also we can control things like temperature, pH, and the lighting from a remote situation, and we can also detect if there's any water level issues, water leaks, and it'll notify us of any issues.
And when it comes to the filter system, Dan's approach seems to be a bit upside down. The filter system is in a room behind the aquarium, but the room is actually above the aquarium.
Okay, sure.
Dan's plan is to pump the water from the tank up to the filter system, and then allow the water from the filter system to gravity flow back down to the 20-foot long aquarium sitting below.
Stay tuned for more LA Fishguys.
Up in Eagle Rock, Dean Inman of Tropical Imports has removed the media out of a large pond sand filter and is ready to rinse it out.
Yeah, cleaning everything off here. What I want to try to do is get it where it's not such a mess in here, but there's just no way around it. So, all right, we're just going to rinse some of this right here, get some of it a little bit cleaner. Try to filter some of the dirt out of here, a little dirty water. You can see it'll come through. It's actually working quite well. Get rid of some of this dirty water. Filter out some algae, and we're good to go. We don't have to worry about it being too perfectly clean because it's just going to accumulate again. But to get majority of the big stuff out is what we want to do.
We've just about finished here. We've rinsed a lot of the gravel. We're cleaning the balance of it in the sand filter here because I ran out of buckets. But now we're ready to pull everything out and put the new filter in and pour all the sand in and get this guy fired up. So, game on. I didn't go to the gym today, but it looks like I'll be all right. All right, old filter out, a little bit of sand left. We'll get that out when I get the new one in.
With the crack canister drained and removed, Dean can now place the new canister into position.
Who needs to go to the gym? We got this taken care of.
Once the canister is in position, the cleaned out filter media can be scooped back in. But Dean wants to check something first.
We'll set that guy right there for now. We're gonna inspect the innards here, make sure everything's okay. This center pipe here where the water flows in and out has little fingers on the bottom where the water is taken back out of the sand down at the bottom. So we're looking good. Okay, we'll use this fancy dancy cardboard piece that they use so that we don't pour sand into the center of the pipe. And it keeps it centered. There we go. Keep that centered.
We got the filter together, so we're looking good. We're gonna go ahead and pour some of this sand back in there.
And it's 7 buckets of recently cleaned filter media to fill back up the canister filter.
It'd be interesting to see how. All right, let's check the fit on this canister to see how we're doing. I think we should be pretty good. Nice fit. Oh, I forgot. I think I forgot the O-ring. Jim, there's a blue O-ring I'm looking for. It goes on this canister. I don't know where I put it. I set it somewhere where I wouldn't find it. You know where I wouldn't lose it. I don't know.
Your head.
There. All right, we got it. That's what I need. The O-ring. Now what we gonna do? Oh, it must be the sun. But that's good. I got the O-ring. What we're putting on here is a little bit of a Teflon based lube to make this O-ring go on a lot easier so it doesn't pinch and get messed up, because then it will leak. So that's good. Put that O-ring on there and then we're good to go. All right. Good, nice fit. We get this lube off of me and we're gonna put everything back together here.
What's up?
We're ready to fire it up.
Fire it up.
Let's move this hose. It's catching under the put it right down below. Okay, so we're up and running. We'll see where the pressure goes to. We're checking the pressure.
I'm surprised it's that high.
And I rinse that gravel too. You're at about 25 pounds.
I'll just keep an eye on it and see if it goes.
Well, you can stop it. You can run it for a little while, stop it, back pressure, but the water should be flowing good through the pond. We can go check that out. Watch your head right there. Just keep an eye here. Everything's good, no leaks. It's always nice. I don't have to take it apart again and Teflon tape it because I missed it by about that much. All right, let's go check out the pond. So
you want to measure this?
Yes, you did not cut this out yet though, right?
No, I've got a circle, as you can see.
Yeah, it's actually more here. You're probably only gonna have to go to about here. So these are the 2 returns, Dean? No, this is a power head here. That's the return for the pond?
That's the return. That's the only return.
Okay. Oh. That's the only return. I think I'm gonna jump in. It feels so good. Those koi mind if I go swimming with them?
Last time I was in there.
Well, we finished here. Dean's got his filter running again, and hopefully we'll get things all cleaned up here. And
We will have a fish fry tonight.
oh, I love fish. What do you think, buddy? Huh? You gonna get a good view of the pond now? Nice. All right.
Traveling back down south of downtown LA, just off Western Avenue, is Coast Tropicals, and Mike Scott is discussing how he prepares for incoming shipments of saltwater fish.
Okay. Right here is our saltwater acclimation table. At any given time, we can bring in 80 to 100 boxes of fish and get them acclimated and get them moving pretty quickly. We try to get them out of the boxes as soon as possible because the air travel time and the air flight is pretty hard on the fish. So we try to get them out of the box, get them acclimated, get them in better shape and in better water, cleaner water, so they can have a better life. Any acclimation can take anywhere from 2 to 8 hours, depending on where it came from, how strong the fish is, the type of fish, and so on and so forth. It's constantly observed. We continuously monitor them while they're in the acclimation process to make sure that they are a good fish for our customer. If we have to allow them to acclimate longer, shorter, or put them somewhere to make them strong, it's before we sell them. We constantly monitor and make sure it's strong and good for our customers.
When the fish are sitting here, do you feed them? Do you try to keep the gut empty if you are feeding them?
No, we do feed. It's been a common practice not to feed. We do feed the fish. As you see, he's feeding the fish right now. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Here you go.
We feed a full. Here, you can hold it. Here we're constantly feeding the fish to keep them strong, to keep their bellies full. He's feeding the red logo. Red logo right now. Sorry, this is the red logo. We feed a lot of this to the tangs and different sorts of species. We feed a variety of different types of food to a variety of different species of fish to make sure that they're strong and healthy all the time. We don't starve them or make their stomachs empty to ship them and whatnot. We feel that keep feeding them keeps them strong and keeps them happy.
It's like I said, every day is an interesting day. Some days are just much more interesting than others. And sometimes you never know what to expect. The weather can change, the traffic is heavy, the hole is too square, or the fish just doesn't bite. But no matter what, it's a day in the life of a fish guy, and you always need to keep moving forward.